Hi, this is Zach with the US Chartbreakers here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Sunday, the 18th of February. Slight sort of wavering of the recent bull run from the end of October, possible rising wedges here. So top of the wedge there for the S&P around 5100. That's our maximum current target on the upside, maybe by the end of next month. We're lucky, otherwise we've got to hold this support area 49.70 on an end of day close basis. We break down below the rising wedge or falling trend channel, depending on how things turn out, then it could be a journey back down to the 50-day moving average 48.12 at the moment, but obviously that is rising by the day, and there was the old 48.40 support zone back at the end of January. Also worth looking at the Nasdaq 100 at the moment to see whether that's also getting a bit tired. Here you can see that we had a gap fill sell-off, so the 17,860 zone, the top of the gap there, we rallied after gapping down and then filled that gap and came down, which is a sort of bearish setup. And the current situation is that we want to hold 17,500 and the uptrend line therefore from the end of October above that, or we're still heading towards the top of the wedge. That's currently around 18,300. Otherwise, on the downside, it broke below the support line there, 17,600. Risks a move to the 50-day moving average at 17,000, maybe over the next couple of weeks. RSI still above neutral 50 in the upper 50, so on that basis, still not anything of real concern to the bulls. Moving on to the stocks, and quite a few sparks in this selection today. Here we have one stock, Applied Materials, which just missed the top of our rising trend channel there from back in May last year. The level there around the $210 level, that's a maximum near-term target. We want to stay above the floor of the gap there around the 189 level in order to get that 210 hopefully in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Another jumping situation coming up next in the form of Applied Therapeutics, and here a vertical move hitting our first target there, $4.80, above $4.80. Got a new destination to look for, which is up to $6.60, and that is derived from the upper parallel of that resistance line there from the end of 2022. That's currently heading up to as high as the $6.60 level, looking for that by the end of next month while we're above the $4.80-90 zone. Another frequent flyer here has been and is BitOrigin. Here you can see that the latest twist in the price action is that we've had a bear trap rebound from below the 50-day moving average around $4.44. Want to see an end of day close above that resistance from back on Friday around the $5.90 level. Above that, then we could hopefully head back up towards the $10 area, which was obviously the initial resistance for this stock. At least while we're above the 50-day line around 440, we're hoping that we will not have to test the old support there from last month down at the 250 zone. Next stock is one which has been a real sort of exciting situation, let's say, and it comes in the form of Beamr. The reason for the excitement is the massive spike that we had earlier in the month, and obviously it'll take a while for the stock to gather or regather its sort of self in terms of the volatility, but basically in a range between around $8.20 and $16, and want to see an end of day close outside those parameters. Obviously on the upside, then it could be a retest of the $32 plus area, but at this stage at least we can say that any dips towards the sub $10 area are probably going to be decently rewarded. Moving on to less sort of covered stocks here, at least in this situation. Dollar General. Here we've got a rising trend channel base, the top of the channel heading towards that last gap down that we had back in August around the $156 level. That also ties in with the top of this rising trend channel from September, and that's our target by the end of next month, while we remain above the 50-day moving average around $134. I'm very pleased to see the next stock on the front foot at the moment, and it's Equilium. And here you can see that we hit our initial target there for Equilium around the $2.50 level. Above that, on an end of day close basis, and we're looking for the upper parallel, currently heading up to $3.50, and that's a resistance line there from the beginning of last year. So above 250, rather simply looking for 350 at Equilium. A stock which we have covered quite a lot, and good to see that it's still buzzing around, is MoneyHero. Here the latest twist is the bounce off the 50-day moving average area, $1.55. Above that, probably looking towards really the recent resistance or previous resistance for the shares back in December, around $3.50 plus, hopefully by the end of next month. Very happy with the next company's behavior and performance in the recent past. Microcloud, here we had our initial target around $24. The next very ambitious sounding target was a resistance line projection from June last year up to $59. And above that, the even bigger target would be $128, which obviously sounds crazy, but looking at that over the next 2 to 3 months, the longer we can stay on the right side of $60. I suppose the other thing to note is that Microcloud just sounded like a winner from the first time we really covered the share. So although the name doesn't mean that much, these things can obviously help. Nano-X is next, and here we see the shares closing above the Thursday resistance, which is a strong signal. Initial target here was the resistance line projection there from July, $14.30. Above that, we're looking for $20 as soon as the end of next month, backed by the unfilled gap to the upside and the strong end of day close that we had at the end of last week. Moving along to Phathom rather, and here you can see that we've got a W-shaped reversal, bear trap, W-shaped reversal below the $7 level. The view now is that the longer we stay above $7.90 and the 50-day line, the greater the chance of move to the top of that broadening triangle from the end of September, as high as $12. Looking for that by the end of next month at Phathom Pharmaceuticals. On to a stock which could be, hopefully will not live up to its name, Toast. Here we've got a rising trend channel base that's been in place since the beginning of October. Top of the channel there heading to $26, which we're looking for by the end of next month or even sooner. Ideally, we'd like to see the shares remain above the top of the latest gap, $21, on an end of day close basis ahead of $26. On to the last two. First one is the trade desk, and here unfilled gap to the upside, resting now on September and October resistance around the $86 level. Above that, and the longer we stay above that, the greater the chance of move up to as high as $115 by the end of next month. But the proviso really there is that we remain well above the $80 area, ideally that September-October resistance. Finishing off with something less dramatic perhaps, which is Universe Pharmaceuticals. Here we've got bear trap rebound from below the floor of that rising trend channel previously drawn. So there was a rug pull there from below that uptrend line from back in November, and the 50-day moving average at $1.80. But at least while we're above $1.80 at the 50-day line, we're still looking for $4 plus, and that can be seen by the end of next month. That's it for me today. More updates during the week.